Finally, the Trinidad and Tobago arrival and departure card is available digitally. So now if you're traveling from March the 17th, you can now use the online system to fill out the form 72 hours before your flight. But anyway, let's not get ahead of ourselves. In this video, I'll be sharing all the information about the system, the information you will need to fill out the form, how it works, and what happens if you don't fill it out online. I'll also go through a walkthrough of the platform just to show how it looks, how it works. So if you're interested, continue watching and let's get into it. If you've been traveling from Trinidad into Trinidad, you know they hand out that long form for you to fill out, immigration and customs. I made a joke about it, and I know people resonate with it because I did not expect that TikTok that I did to reach as many people as it did, but clearly a lot of people resonate with it because I described it similar to doing the Trinidad entrance exam. Because please. So basically the online system will replace the paper form, so I assume it's the same information you'll be filling out. We finally implemented it similar to other countries like Antigua, St. Lucia, Barbados. The goal is to make the process faster. In case you maybe missed something on the form, the officer has to send you back to fill out something. So how it works, basically you fill out the form online, and once you complete it, you will receive a QR code, well, a receipt with a QR code that you will then share or show to the immigration officer once you arrive, or to the clerk when you are leaving, because there's also the departure card that you fill out when you're leaving, and then the arrival form you fill out when you're coming in. Once you complete it, you'll receive a receipt with a QR code that you can either save on your phone or you can print it out. Now, what information do you need to use the system? Of course, you need a valid email address because they will need the email address to send the receipt to. You'll need your flight information, of course, a valid passport if you're traveling, and you'll also need a copy of your passport biodata page. Now, they specifically said JPEG or PNG, meaning that it will be a picture format. So I assume it will not accept a PDF, but I'll walk through the form to see actually if it also includes the file format, but for now it seems to be a photo format. Let's do a quick walkthrough of the system, how it looks and how it works. So the site is travel.gov.tt, and it has, again, all the information you would need: email address, flight information, passports. So let's get started. So again, if you are coming in, you would fill out the arrival form. If you are leaving, you will fill out the departure form. Now the departure form is much shorter. It's basically just your information, so your name, passport number, flight number. It's really short. It's like this, a small card just like this, but the arrival form is the long form that you have to fill out. So we'll use the arrival form. So if you started filling out the form before, you can edit it, but since it's a new form, we can click new immigration and customs form. So it will ask you, of course, if you're a citizen or if you are not a citizen. I am a citizen, so I'll fill out that. If you're traveling by air or sea, if you're coming in with a cruise ship, it will be sea. If it's a flight, of course, it will be air. So they do have a list of airlines, but you can just start filling it out. So let's just say I'm coming from Barbados with Inter Caribbean, and my flight number is 34121. I don't know. Country of departure, Barbados, and they have the select menu, so it's a little bit easier. And so how they have it here is that they ensure that it's within the 72-hour range. So let's just say my arrival is the 18th, and we continue. So they ask you to fill out the personal information. Based on the tabs I see available, you have to fill out, well, the arrival information, your personal information, the travel, so your travel documents, issue date, etc. Destination, so you have to put where you will be staying, so that type of information. Health, family, I guess that's if anyone else is traveling with you, spouse, children, etc. And the customs form, so if you're bringing anything, money, anything valuable, any restricted or prohibited items. So that's all the information that's included. Now, something I'm interested in understanding is what happens if you don't fill it out online, because sometimes everyone is not in the position to fill out the form online, depending on why you're traveling. It may be hectic, you don't have the time, or maybe you're just not too tech savvy. I assume there may be a transition phase where they still allow you to fill out the paper forms if you did not fill it out online. Now, on the site, they specifically said you must fill it out online. You must. They put it in capital letters, you must. However, like for example, in Barbados, I wasn't aware that they had the online form. So once you got there, they asked you if you filled it out online. If you didn't, they sent you to the kiosk, where of course it's basically the same thing, and you just fill it out on the kiosk. They'll print the receipt for you and you continue on to the customs agents with that information. I know we were supposed to launch the kiosk because they had the kiosks, but I don't know what became of it. Nothing came of it, actually. That's what came of it. But anyway, so I think that maybe, hopefully, that should be another phase that they plan to implement, the kiosks. So if you don't fill it out online, you have the option to fill it out digitally at the airport. But nothing has been mentioned about that part, so that's something to keep in mind, because that is also important. Not everyone traveling is going to fill out the form online. So yeah, let's see how that goes. But I am happy that it's finally launched after all the years of talks about it. It has finally launched, because thankfully I was able to travel to Trinidad twice last year. But y'all, filling out that form is so annoying all the time. But because I fly with KLM, we have a stopover for about an hour in St. Martin, so during that time I use that time to fill out the form, so it's not too bad. But again, sometimes depending on the reason for travel, how you're traveling, everything is a rush and it's quite annoying to have to fill out. But anyway, if you found the video to be informative or helpful, don't forget to like it. If you're interested in all things travel, especially from a Caribbean perspective, go ahead and subscribe. If you're interested in seeing how to plan a vacation, planning a vacation in real time, you can check out these videos here. And yeah, safe travels until next time.